How do you deal with a brand as potent as Chloe? Paolo Malem Anderson has taken the course of action that probably a lot of us would in his position. He's chosen to sail away.
My initial inspiration was all about waft and sailing, and all the patchworks were inspired by the assembly of the sails.
This show, Chloe, I am just shampooing the hair and letting it air dry if I can. There is some lovely natural movement in there, and we don't always have to use hair dryers and tongs and products and all that to achieve something quite beautiful and feminine.
Obviously, for everyone now, Chloe is associated with Phoebe Philo, the designer who made Chloe into the brand for fashionable women around the world.
What Phoebe did was more styling. What Paolo's doing is more fashion.
Phoebe really set a very feminine way of dressing when that wasn't the norm at the time. The new version from Paolo is erasing all of that and starting over with a new design vocabulary. It is a very simplified, straightforward approach to cut and drape and not so much about the embellishment.
He really turned the dial from what Phoebe was doing, which is a smart thing to do because she did what she did perfectly. It really reflects how a man wants a woman to look versus the way a woman wants a woman to look.
If the show is good, does it matter who designed it?
No. Most people walking in the store could not name the Chloe design.
Chloe always was incredibly European and French, and yet at the same time very, very easy to wear. It didn't have the sort of heaviness of bourgeois traditions. It was like the bourgeois woman's teenage sister or babysitter had breathed in a dress. So the mother or the aunt was in Saint Laurent, but the daughter was in Chloe. I think Paolo gets that exactly right.
He's brought more of an edge to the label. It feels a little harder, a little younger. It was kind of going through a whole romantic baby doll stage for a while, and now the lines are much cleaner. I like it.
I think of Chloe as being very romantic.
Sensual, I mean romantic, but not in a sentimental way. She's very nice to herself, if that makes sense.
It was a lot like the original Chloe. If you could look back, 30 years to the 1970s when Karl Lagerfeld was there. Wind is a great word for it.
Why were you feeling sailing? Is that something you do?
I've done the whole summer, and I'm from the sea, and I just had to focus on something, and I just tried to find inspiration for fluidity, and it just came to me.
Do you find that the notion of Chloe is something you respond to or react against? The brand. It's something...
Like sailing, you have to go with the wind.